Good evening, and welcome to This Week in Joe's Basement. My name is Anton, and this is Joe's Basement. Joe's not here this week. He's in the Caribbean, and he's asked me to come in here and sit and do his opening bit. So he's left me some notes, so I'll have some things to say. Okay, so it begins with, there's a title, Joe's Meta Basement. Typical witty title. Then comes the introduction. Introduction. This week we examine ourselves closely. And then there's a quote from Nietzsche for class. It says, "Battle not with monsters, lest you become a monster. When you gaze into the abyss gazes also into you." And and then it says, "Thanks." That's a reaction, so I go. And it says, "So don't look into the abyss. It's not good for you." Yeah. And it continues. Anyway, so on Joe's Meta Basement, we search for layers of meaning to peel away the exterior and find the... Okay. Welcome, Mr. Winston.
You ready?
Just a second, gotta get the opening shot.
Listen, none of this Mr. Winston shit. Call me Joe, okay?
Joe.
Yeah. Just because I have my own TV show doesn't mean I'm too big for you guys, okay?
Sure thing, Mr. Whitehead.
Right.
Is that your spot?
Basically, and I'm dealing with my mic here. Let's see. What I got here in my script. Well, nothing with that anyway. Okay, I'm gonna mess myself up. I'm gonna be leaning forward, like there.
All right, I got you. All right, camera rolling. Talent ready?
Yep.
Cue talent.
Good evening. Welcome to This Week in Joe's Basement. Yep. Good evening, and welcome to This Week in Joe's Meta Basement. I'm Joe, and this is my Meta Basement. This week in Joe's Meta Basement, we're going to try to achieve an expanded perspective on things and strive for true self-awareness. And I'd like to start with just the simplest exercise to try to attain that. It's just to look at ourselves. Got a little mirror here, and hold it up here, and there you are. So look at yourselves, and what do you see? Do you like what you see? Well, anyway, Nietzsche had a few things to say on the subject of self-awareness, and he was a pretty deep guy, a lot of fun at parties. He said, "Battle not with monsters, lest ye become a monster, for when you gaze into the abyss gazes also into you." Well, don't gaze into the abyss, it's not good for you. Right, so, on This Week in Joe's Meta Basement, we're going to seek to peel away the layers of meaning and try to find the essence of basement. Sort of the basement within the basement, in fact, the sub-basement, if you will. And in doing that, hopefully we'll find out, what does it mean to be in Joe's basement? I mean, what does it mean for me to be on television? Who do you see? Do you see me, or do you just see some projection of me through the television medium? Who am I really, anyway? And if I don't know who I am, how can I really find out? Think about this for a while. Maybe if we... Good evening and welcome to This Week in Joe's Basement. I'm Joe. And this is my basement. So, this week in Joe's Basement, we're going to abandon our usual frivolous approach to providing you with some entertaining diversions to help you forget your drab, dull, meaningless lives. And we're going to take on some serious subject matter, namely, death. Okay, now look. We're all going to die, right? You're going to die, I'm going to die, so let's face it, okay? Now, personally, I happen to be an atheist. Actually, I'm agnostic because I'm hedging my bets a bit. And what that means for me is when I die, I'm dead. Show's over. That's it. As far as I can tell, there's no hope of salvation nor fear of damnation, which is a nice thing about being an atheist. So I figure that when I die, I'm just going to be alone in a dark room forever. And in the new spirit of facing reality here at Joe's Basement, we'd like to not only admit this issue, but explore it in depth, experientially, as follows. I'm going to place myself here alone in a dark room, and you're going to share in this experience with me vicariously through the magic of television. And we're all going to understand what it means to be dead in the atheist vision of being dead. So, now I'm going to turn off the lights here, and I've got a monitor here, to prove that it's dark. I've got a monitor here so you can see just how dark it's getting. So let me turn off the lights here. And let's see how we're doing here. You can't see yet, so let's just take a look at this monitor here and see how we're doing. Well, it looks like we're almost completely dark, except for this match. And, okay. Now we're completely dark, and I'm all alone. And let me just make sure for a minute that it's completely quiet. Just shut everything off. Let's see how quiet it can get here. Shh. Hang on a sec. I really gotta get that faucet fixed. Make them like they used to. Whew, that's better. What else? Well, I guess I don't really need this anymore. That's better. And, oh yeah. Okay, that's much better. Now we ought to be able to settle into some peace and quiet here. Absolute silence so we can experience death. In the atheist vision of being dead, of course. Where's that coming from? God damn it, I hate those things. Where'd I put that this time? Hang on a sec. Let's see over here. Maybe it's in here. Hang on.
And God saw the light, that it was good. And God divided the light.
Hey, cut that out! Goddamn neighbors can't ever stop that yammering. God, don't they know when I need to have some quiet? All right, it's settled in here. Something's still wrong. What is it? What is it? Ah, the mimes! Yes, damn it, I always forget to turn off the mimes. All right. Well, now I've finally gotten it quiet in here, and since I've already demonstrated that it's completely dark and I'm all alone in here, I've sealed this room off. I've now recreated the experience of being dead in the atheist vision of being dead. And I can settle in and just check this out here. See what sort of wisdom this brings me.
Excuse me. Sorry, just humming there for a sec. Guess that's not really in the spirit of the exercise now, is it? I don't think dead people can hum, especially not if they're atheists. Well, I think at this point that I really ought to share with you some of my insights that I've gained from sitting here alone in a dark room and experiencing the atheist vision of death. I must say, it's not really what I expected. I don't know quite what it is, but well, I am, of course, alone in here, and there's nothing really for me to see or hear. So, what I'm experiencing is exactly like the atheist vision of being dead, but I don't know, I sense something in here, in the room with me. I wonder if this is what they mean by sort of, shades being in the room with you, even when you think you're alone. It's very strange. Wonder what these things could be that are in this room with me. Wonder if they're still here when I have the lights on and there are other people in here. Well, this is really too weird for me. I gotta take a dump. Hang on. Be right back.
As we take a closer look here at figure 12, we begin to understand the Lorentz contraction and retardation of moving clocks in four-dimensional representation. Any event which takes place on the x-axis in the system of inertia S is represented by a point in the x sub 1, x sub 4 plane in 3 plus 1 space, which is drawn as if the time variables x sub 4, x prime sub 4, and the angle theta were real. Gives an illustration of the Lorentz contraction and the retardation of clocks. The lines L sub 1 and L sub 2, which you can see are parallel to the x prime sub 4 axis, represent the time tracks of the endpoints of a measuring rod at rest on the x prime axis, the length being L sub 0 equals x prime sub a squared minus x prime a sub 1 prime. Now, the reason I have chosen to show you this particular figure is because we find it very moving. It is so seldom that mathematical diagrams and art come so close together. Perhaps we should go back and study the history of figure 12 so you can more fully understand it. In order to do that, we have to go back to Florentine, Italy. Now, once upon a time, in a magical forest just outside Florentine, Italy, lived a herd of figure 9s. These figure 9s were known throughout the world for their beauty and love of nature. They coexisted happily with the other elves and fairies in the forest. One day, however, as Robin Hood was passing through the forest, stealing from the lame to give to the mimes, the figure 9s confronted him, and Little John slew them all. So they obviously had to evolve into figure 10s. Now, in order to more fully understand that, the evolution from a figure 9 to figure 10, we probably need to babble incoherently for several minutes. So, let me begin by saying,
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the centennial anniversary of the Miss Bathing Beauty Contest. Thank you. We are now in our final round, and we've narrowed it down to just a small handful of your favorite contestants. So, first, let's have a big hand for Miss Carolina. Thank you, Bob. Thank you. So, Miss Carolina, tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, I was born in California, but I moved to North Carolina at a very young age.
Yes, but what we're really interested in, is it true those are 38 D cups?
Bob, how can you say such a thing? I am a respectable woman. I have joined this competition because I think it will further my acting career.
Yeah, well, how about removing that top? Yeah!
Okay, so I admit it, I'm only here because they're big. Woo.
Yes, thank you very much. And now, Miss Carolina, will you please exit and make way for Miss Argentina?
Hi, I'm here because I just really like men looking at me. Ever since I was very young, I have felt I was an extremely attractive young lady. And I just, you walk down the street and you find that men whistle at you and you think, I should get paid for this. And I considered becoming a prostitute, and I just couldn't bring myself to do it because of all the diseases. So I designed wedding gowns for a while, and that was completely inappropriate and completely unnecessary. So I decided to join the beauty pageant circuit.
Okay, well, thank you, Miss Argentina. And now we have Miss Europe. Yes, Miss Europe is modeling a beautiful three-piece lycra spandex leopard skin outfit. How about that stomach? Yeah.
Hi. I have several goals in life. First, I would really like to understand nuclear physics better, because I believe that the proton is not actually the key to anything. I found at a very young age that mathematics really made me hot. And so as I got older, I pursued physics, which was even better because not only did I get hot, but I got sort of wet and sticky, Bob. So I've been pursuing physics from...
Yeah, well, shut up, you damn bitch!
Okay.
All right, and let's hear it for Miss Europe.
Much better.
Oh, shit. Oh, I'm not going to answer that. I really did mean that. I'm sorry. I'm just going to have to ask you to put that noise right out of your mind, because I'm really just not going to get that, okay? So I'm going to ask you to pretend that the phone's not ringing, that that noise is not there, and that we really are just alone in a dark room with no telephones in it. And then we can continue with this exercise.
Man, fuck this. Who wants to watch that? Golly. Guess I better answer that. Hello?
So I wonder when the hell you're going to answer the damn phone.
Who is this?
Who the fuck do you think it is? It's me, stupid.
Oh, hi.
Listen, I have this bit which I want to use in this week's show. Mark and I did it. It's where he talks to himself on the TV set. It's not great, but it's better than that whole darkness bit.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. What do you want to do with it?
I don't know. I mean, it's Joe's basement, right? So why don't we just stick it in without any excuse at all?
No, that's too lazy even for me. We better come up with some sort of a link.
Okay. Well, how about this conversation? Doesn't that function as sort of a transition?
Yeah, I suppose it does. Okay, let's do that. You ready?
Sure.
This should be interesting. Let's see.
Have you ever really considered defense? Self-defense, personal defense,
What's he doing there?
self-preservation?
Is that his stomach?
As just not too long ago, my friend Genghis was saying,
Genghis, yeah.
8 quadrants,
Genghis.
damn, how did I do that? Now I've got one in isolation, fuck it, kill them, die, die, die.
Oh, that's violent. It's very
And this got
violent.
me thinking about defense, preparation in case of personal attack.
Self-defense.
So I've been sitting here, taking the tobacco from the cigarette and sticking it onto the bottom of this piece of tape.
Right on the bottom, huh? That's a pretty good idea.
Which has absolutely nothing to do with defense.
Oh, why should it?
But it is a fascinating, conjecture, because
glad he put his stomach
as I was
away.
doing this, I noticed that this sweater actually has many hairs. My hairs sticking to it. So I've begun sticking the hairs to the tape over here.
Yeah, he's right.
And tobacco, I've been concentrating on this side.
Polarity. It's a very scientific thing.
Now this would not normally be quite so fascinating, but as you may notice, my face is hideously and artificially distorted at the moment. And while this has absolutely no bearing on the actions I'm doing, somehow, somewhere, I truly believe there is a connection.
With self-defense.
Of course, this tobacco doesn't stick very well.
Obviously.
It keeps falling. It's not an easy thing.
Well, nobody said it was.
To deal with. I mean, you sit there at home and you watch and you think, fine, no problem.
Well, it's not a problem.
He's taking the tobacco and he's sticking it on the table.
Right, on the bottom, of the tape.
The tobacco's falling. I mean,
Can't
I don't know if you can see, but it just keeps falling and sticking it up. It keeps coming back down. There's hairs over here.
What did you want?
Still hairs
What'd you
on
want
my
to happen?
sweater, goddammit.
Like hairs on your sweater.
Defense.
Defense, yes.
Preservation.
That was what we were talking about.
Self-preservation. I have a pimple here, just a small one. The more I scratch it, the redder it gets. And the redder it gets, the more I scratch it. And
but I've been scratching mine.
keeps falling. There's almost none left in the cigarette. It's going to be a lot of fun to smoke this cigarette. There's nothing in it. You can smoke air.
Right. Air is good.
Air is
very healthy. Paper air.
Air is paper.
It's like
there's a concept in it.
water coolers.
It's like when you go to the office water cooler and you have one of those.
What did I tell you? Water coolers.
Sort of cone-shaped paper cups. And let's say you pulled one down and there was no water. You would just have this container of air. Of course, if you had tape, you could tape it on your forehead and look sort of like a unicorn. If you had several cups and quite a bit of tape, you could tape them all over your face. It'd probably be a lot more interesting than what I've done to my face.
Well, obviously.
Too many on it would obstruct your view, and you'd have an awful hard time seeing the tobacco.
Oh, and then how could you stick it on the tape?
And, there's always the communists.
Oh, the communists. Ooh. What about those communists?
I was wondering when you'd get around to them.
Well, that was the end of the monologue.
How about a quick mini wrap up so that I can get in my zoom out here.
Well, how are you? Oh, you're gonna edit all that other stuff out? I don't have anything really to say. I thought that was fairly apparent.
Well, that's all for this week in Joe's Basement, really. We've sort of run out of material, so we're going to cut the show at this point. But, special feature we're introducing this month, which is viewer mail. Yes, we now have an address for you to send viewer mail to, and I'm going to make a promise to you right now, which I really will keep, which is that anything you send to me, I will somehow present it on the air, I promise. Anything at all, really. And don't send 50 blank pages, because I thought of that already, so it's not funny anymore. So, here's the address. It's on your screen, and I'm going to leave it up there for an irritatingly long time, so you actually write it down. The address is This Week in Joe's Basement, or for you cognoscenti out there, TWJB, Suite 230, 230, 1448 East 52nd Street, Chicago, Illinois, 60615. Excuse me for a moment. I have to answer the phone. I'll be right back to finish this message. I got it. It's Dan. He'll be right over. Okay, hang on a sec. Okay, so, I think you've got the address by now, right? Yeah. Okay. So hopefully you've written that down. So, to this address, you can send, letter or UPS. They'll even take FedEx. And if you have a fax machine, fuck you. And fuck you and the high horse you rode in on. Faxing viewer mail. God, what the fuck is this anyway? Alright, so, well, let's see what kind of fruitcakes actually watch this show. I'm really curious. And I must tell you, public access cable, it doesn't have any, Nielsen ratings or anything like that. I mean, they seem to be able to barely get a signal out. Oops. Anyway, so, really, the only indication we have that there's, anybody watching this show, because, I don't watch it, I don't have cable, it's a waste of money. You shouldn't have cable, it's a waste of money, right? So, and none of my friends watch it. So, if I don't get any viewer mail, well, I'll just make up some, actually, is what I'll do. But, to be honest with you. But, if I don't get any, then maybe nobody watches this show at all, which means next week I may really run just 30 minutes of black. So, maybe you better send something in, and, if you get cable and if you care. Because, of course, we are in a sense responsive to our viewers. We at Joe's Basement always been into, first and foremost, giving the people what they want.
I think there may be so few viewers that if few people write in, there could be genuine dialogue. If
That's
you ask
right.
for things on the show and you're one of the 3 letters that are sent in, you could really dominate the program.
Anton's got a point here. I'm pointing the mic a little bit at him. Yeah, see, if there are only 3 people who watch this show, hell, maybe we'll put you on the show if you want to be on TV, save you the trouble.
If only one guy writes in, we can put him on the show. Yeah, you can read your own letter if you're the only guy.
That's right. You can come in and read it in my basement. Yeah, that'd be... fruitcakes in my house.
On the sidewalk out in front of the house, you can come read your own letter.
Alright. Oh! Fuck, yes, I know what I'm going to do next week. I really do. This is the first time. I'm so proud. So I just got to show you what is going to be on next week's show. A preview. I just thought, taste it. A teaser. Just to make you really want to watch next week's show, okay? Here it is. Cue.